Welcome, everybody, to episode 18 of the Lifted, Lowered, and Confused podcast. We got Ryan with us again today. Pleasure to have you, brother.
Thank you.
So today, we're going to talk about inflation, right? We're going to talk about the cost, right? It seems like the cost of everything is just going up and up and up, from the cars to the parts to just the cost of ownership, the whole nine. It's all going up.
To the basket cases.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. I remember when you could buy a town car for $500. You can't do that now. You're paying $5,000
easily. You buying basket cases out in the field with no floors.
Yeah,
but they got a clean title and
it's barn find, baby. Barn find.
Yeah, I know what I got.
Out front. Yeah, no. Out front of a barn. Yeah. No roof over it. No floors. No top. But it's an original, numbers matching whatever's left. By the way, and they still want 15, 20K, and I'm like, you got more in that. Yeah. You're going to spend more than $15,000, $20,000 just buying parts to restore it. Not restoring it, just buying the parts to restore it. And these people are commanding 15, 20, some cases 25.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Being a fabricator, I know what I'm looking at, even just through pictures, and I'm like, that's robbery. Yeah. And some people like entertaining it. And I'm like, God, it's stuff like that that's driving the price up further.
Yeah.
It's off the rails.
I remember 20 years ago, my old boss bought a Fleetwood, real clean one, super clean, garage kept, 93.
Oh, okay.
Real nice Fleetwood. I think he paid $2,500 for it, like 50,000 miles, super clean. That same car now is $15,000, $12,000.
Yeah, depending on the
it's
condition
up
of it
there.
and where it's been kept.
There.
Yeah, I got a steal.
Yeah,
I got a steal for mine.
You did.
I think we all got it. The Buick, I stole the Buick.
You stole the Buick.
Oh, you stole the Buick. Considering
You
the
stole
shape
the
it's in,
Buick.
your Buick cost a little less than my wagon, and my wagon is nowhere near the condition your Buick's in.
Right. Your wagon, you could probably sell that bitch right now for $20, $25.
Almost did at the shipper. That was one of the other part of the story I left out the other day.
You're getting hostile looks off camera, sir.
Oh, yeah. No, I pulled up at the shipper, was finishing up the paperwork, and a dude, slid into the parking lot and was like, where'd you find that wagon? And I said, 30 minutes away in a town called Eufaula. And he goes, that was in my neighborhood? And I was like, I guess so. I don't know who you are.
And what you coming at me for, bro?
And he goes, you want to sell it? And I was like, looked over at her. She's shaking her head, and for the camera, I'm looking at my wife. She's shaking her head no at me, and I literally went, you show up here tomorrow with $12K, and it's yours. And
people would run to you right now with $12,000.
Are you willing to
you could double
divulge the price of what you originally paid?
I did in the last episode. I got it for $6,600.
Okay,
I mean, minus going to get it and shipping it home.
So you would have almost doubled your money then.
Almost doubled my money, and she's looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" And I was like, I'll start hunting tomorrow and find another one, and I'll still have money in my pocket to put towards the car.
That's the crazy part. Today?
Yeah, today, no.
Like your 63 wagon on rims, runs and drives.
Yeah.
That's a $25,000 car,
and it's got
all day, every day.
And it's got a heap of issues that needs to be sorted out.
That's the truth. It's got a few. It ain't like the Buick.
And it would still sell for $25K.
Yeah.
Without even batting an eyelash.
I don't know. I paid a little bit of the tax on my town car. Yeah. Because that same town car that I have now, even just 3 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago, just before COVID, and all the price, spike, that same car would have been $2,000, $1,500. Yeah. I paid almost $5,000 for that car.
Now, some people might look at your Impala that you got and think you stole it. I personally think you got a very fair deal.
Yeah, I don't think I stole it.
No, but other people, comparatively what people are paying for them, some people will be like, man, you stole that. I think you got it for what you received and what you traded and got paid for. You absolutely got a fair deal. Yeah. He stole his car. Yeah. I stole my car.
The Regal I bought just in time.
Yes. Yeah, you'd be paying $12,000 for it as was when you bought it now.
So. And arguably, even though you bought it years ago at $6K, you got a fair deal then. You got a gem now. Like it's the equity. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'll be purely transparent. I think the guy that bought my Regal, I think he got a fair deal.
100%.
I paid,
100%.
and here's the deal. I paid $5,000 for that Regal, right
I
before COVID,
And it
I
was
didn't
painted.
know that. That's
and it was painted.
Regal, dude.
It was painted. Interior was all there, solid. It had those bolt-on wire wheels.
gotcha.
It was all there. All I did to that car, I juiced that car.
Right. However,
I juiced it twice. I juiced it
However,
lane
it
play,
wasn't just-
and then
yeah.
we went silly with it.
yeah.
And I sold that car essentially for $14,000.
Complete though. You didn't pull wheels off. Like a lot
Complete.
of dudes, if you
No, complete.
car sold like this, not as
Complete.
is, less the wheels, less the piston pump. Less,
No, when I sold that car, it was still the same painted Regal with knockoffs instead of the bolt-on wires. It was all the stress points reinforced, the ears, the front coil pockets, chain bridge,
Everything.
rear end was boxed.
upper lower control arms. You say that?
Upper lower and control arms reinforced.
Everything.
8 batteries, 2 cc pumps for the rear, and a high-low piston pump to the nose with an 8X dump. That car went for $14,000.
Yep.
Right.
And
well, technically,
$14,000.
it was the Impala plus $4,000.
$14,000 unabused. We only did
Yeah.
one. We only
Yeah,
did
we
one
didn't-
official test hop with
we
it
didn't get
with
crazy
some
with it.
pressure, and we didn't even have the rest of the time to maybe switch out coils or anything like that.
So let me ask you: did you do that because you just decided you wanted to go a different route?
He hated the Regal.
I was gonna say, tell them the truth. Tell them why you really.
Yeah. No, I was never a G body guy. I bought the car out of convenience, waiting on the glass house.
The what?
The glass house.
Okay.
I was waiting on it.
I wasn't trying to pull you into that.
No, I know. He was.
I am.
I just didn't know.
But it's fine. It's fine. Listen, I was waiting on that car. I bought the Regal, figuring, okay, the easiest car that's a juice is probably going to be the Regal because there's parts everywhere. They cross multiple platforms. There's going to be parts for it all over the place, not just the hydraulic parts, but everything to rebuild a car. So I bought it, and I got a good deal on it. I thought $5,000, whatever, for a painted car, and I did. I juiced it, but I never really loved the car.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Actually, when we were putting the piston
believe
pump
at
in,
one, yeah, I believe at one point
he said we're gonna hop this to break it. I want to break this car.
I want to break
I hate it. I
hate
wanna break
I
it.
said I hate it. I want to break it.
And fortunately enough for the buyer, we
And never
built
got
it.
to that point.
We tested it to make sure everything was working appropriately, so on and so forth.
Yeah. The last thing,
And that was it. She never even got hit real hard.
Yeah,
She never hit bumper, nothing.
the last thing I had to do to that car was put heavier coils in the front because it was still rocking the 2 or 2.5 tons in the front from the first build
That were cut.
So they were already low and they were already soft.
They collapsed on their own though.
Yeah, they were not good for hopping.
All right.
I was going to put some 4 tons in it or something and just go silly.
All right.
So somebody got a good deal on an unabused hopper.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just a built hopper, not
But see
even
that
abused.
I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Like, you got a '64 Impala
Yeah.
for a Regal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
granted, it had hydraulic. The Buick or the Impala has 2 pumps in it already.
Yeah.
Like,
The Impala?
yeah,
It had 3 pumps.
Oh, 3
Well,
pumps.
it had 2 pumps in it, and the third pump just kind of
rolling around in the trunk.
Yeah.
So
And
you
know all the stuff in there is
traded
like-
It was
a Regal.
it was a spare, right?
Yeah.
You traded a Regal for a '64 Impala,
Plus you
Yeah.
you received money
and you
as
got
well.
$4,000
Yeah.
on top of
And I
that.
got $4,000 on top of
Like,
that.
to me, that's a win.
So that went
all
toward
day.
that
Dude,
went straight
it was a
toward parts.
win for those gears that are probably in it. They're probably all Marzucci.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Or if they're going to
recycle.
be Marzucci or Fenners.
And I'm going to recycle those pumps because they obviously worked. The 2 that
Yeah.
were hooked up obviously worked because they raised the car. So I'm going to take them out. I'm going to reseal them all. I'm going to clean them all up, and that's what's going to end up in
Clean down the motors and all
yeah,
that.
and that's what's going to end up in the town car.
You know, I'll bet you too, if they're old enough, because it was a '90s build. Those motors might have been USA as well.
Maybe.
'Cause to my knowledge, they used to do the
I think
motors used to be a USA built item.
I think
as
it was.
well.
I think it was a Fenner. The one that was rolling around, I took out and I took apart,
It was a Fenner.
and it was a Fenner.
No, okay.
I don't know what gear it was. I got to figure out how they label their
Right up- but
how
still,
they
right
label
there.
them. But I think it was a Fenner.
Right there, it's already it's American-made product.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll bet you.
Nice.
I'll bet you the majority of that is still
The Impala,
USA.
the Impala started right up.
It did.
We pulled it right on the.
It needed
like,
some transmission fluid, but
you
it did
literally
move.
got-
drove on its own.
That must be a Chevy thing.
It was a painted.
Mine.
The only difference was the Regal was
Yours
painted.
did recently.
Yeah.
Right? Granted, we got a lot of work to do on the Impala, but still, it's a '64
It's a
Impala.
6.0.
You could slap a sticker up on there for
Two-door.
$20,000 as is, and it'll be gone tomorrow.
Nowadays 100%.
Be gone
100% with the
tomorrow.
prices of stuff going now. The basket cases, as you would say.
Yeah.
I could absolutely.
And what's nice is 2-door hardtop. It's everything, you know, and it's already on the sauce, but it's not even like molested where like it was done improperly. Like the whole frame, there's nothing. I don't even think there's any reinforcements on the entire.
There's not.
None. So that means the whole frame, seemingly, is unmolested, and it it wasn't a hopper. You could tell that. So when we go,
I don't think it was a hopper, but it does have a little bit of a sketchy looking chain bridge in it.
Okay.
So I'm a little concerned about that. Once we start digging into it and we get the body off of it, we'll have to check that frame.
My thought is probably just the things that were done to it might not have been like the most quality, but things like that, like a bridge, cut it, dump it. If the frame's straight, that whole frame hasn't been boxed, hasn't been stress pointed, that's great. That means it's not going to be us cutting off old plating, welding on new plating properly, double heat tempering the frame and just putting it through even more stress.
No, we get a plate kit from Hoppos or somebody, and that's the price of those things now are the price of metal is going through the roof. So those prices are getting up there too, man. I remember
everything's gone up except for pay. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, for real, man.
I needed a piece of for this build actually. I needed 22 foot of 1/4 inch wall, 1.5 inch DOM. Now I remember a couple of years ago it was off the wall at $250 for that piece, and even at the time place I was working we'd ordered a piece and it was like, oh damn, like even my boss like it's crazy. It was $250 for that one stick or 2 sticks. They cut it down. Usually they'll take a 22 footer and they'll cut it to 2 sticks for you.
Yeah.
And that was wild then. So when he looked up prices for this, I will remain nameless. There were 2 places I checked in our areas, and one place before they even cut it, they would charge you to cut it. So before they even cut it was like $890.
Should have went to Punta Gorda.
That's.
I was going to say
Wait. That was in Sarasota. So we went to a place in Punta Gorda. Again, I'll leave names aside, and the same 22-foot stick cut. Yeah. It was like 6 and change. So granted, still crazy amount of money, but it was already a third less than another place.
The place we went charged by the foot, but they didn't know how to use a tape measure.
No. How are you going to be?
We got the 1x1, right? Was that,
yeah, 6 foot. And the guy's looking up at it, and he's like, yeah, I look like about 6 foot.
He holds it up to me. I'm 6'3", and it was well above my head. He goes, that looks like about 6 foot, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, give me $6. And I was like,
you guys are standing there like this,
throwing the money at the dude.
Here, take my money. What's the meme of the Futurama guy? Take my money.
Yeah.
$1 a foot for steel.
Like when he said I look about like 6 foot, I know Trent was like,
yeah, looks good to me, Bob.
I mean, this is a little off topic, but wood has gone up as well, and you guys have seen the pictures of that vanity. A lot of the pieces I got was from Kimball Lumber, and maybe I shouldn't actually say that, but the one guy was like, oh, it looks like it's kind of beat up on the last couple feet. I'm just going to give you that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get maybe the guy was just giving you a deal on the metal. Who knows?
Yeah. It's very much on topic.
We grabbed that and ran like we stole it. So.
Yeah, whatever it was. Gracias, homie.
Yeah.
You got to buy wood for cabinets in your for audio and stuff. So it's very much on topic.
I don't even know what
exactly.
I haven't.
That's going to cost you a remortgage in the house.
Yeah, I don't even want to think what that's going to cost for the wagon. I'm going to cry a lot.
Yeah. So
you know what does seem the prices to be still reasonable or even gone down is audio stuff.
That's
audio stuff's got a little cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that works, but that is absolutely on point.
The technology's gotten better and the prices have gone down. That is odd.
You can have a
technology getting better is subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're the true audio guy. Yeah, I just look at it like, oh man, the technology's got to be better, right?
Yeah,
we're
I got that.
$1,500. You can have your car or truck slamming.
I got that 1,000-watt sundown amp. It's this big, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not even. You way too big for that.
It's like little. Yeah. It's all digital. Never overheats.
Well, class D. It depends on what you're doing, but in most cases, like that's we can get a whole subject on that all by itself. There's different class of amplifiers. Yeah. So us old heads like me in the audio game, like you want class AB. That's the cleanest, purest.
Oh, okay.
That's that like studio sound effect, and it'll make it apparent if you have a shitty install or stuff like that. And then
we're not allowed to cuss anymore, Ryan.
My bad.
That's true.
So a crappy install, and class D is definitely it's a lower product as far as between the Class A, B amps and the Class D.
Yeah.
Class D is definitely a lower product, but you get more power for something,
So the
I'm quite
letters
happy
so
with
the
mine.
letters are like a clarity thing.
Yeah, ironically enough, it's almost the way it works out. It's almost like a grading scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never
So,
knew
yeah.
that. I
So,
never
yeah,
knew
but
that.
I mean,
Me either.
I
but
thought
yeah,
because everybody I knew always gravitated toward Class D, like it was something.
well, that's
it was,
good.
Right,
for, it was
same.
for bass, it
It's,
needed
it's
to be.
what people push.
Well, because it's what it was. In
Okay.
Class D, you're
Yeah.
going to get, like you said, more power.
yeah, you get
So
an
if you get
amp.
a Class
You
D-
get an amp this big, and it's pushing out,
Yeah.
almost 1,000 watts. But it's like,
So yeah, that's
Okay.
why you flock
but
to
back
it.
in the old
Yeah.
days, if you remember the surfboards,
Oh yeah.
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 that were pushing out 1,000 watts, but they were actually cheater amps, so
Yeah.
they were pushing out like 3,000 watts, even though they said rated for 1,000. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty.
That's cool. Yeah, I never knew that.
yeah.
But yeah,
I know
metals. Oh, go ahead.
The stereo in my truck, which isn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, was like $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
we hear you coming like about
Yeah.
3/4 of a mile out. Like I hear bass like proper trend.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like 98% of the world putting a stereo in their car isn't worrying about being super high fidelity. They're looking for something that sounds good,
Beats
sounds
the
better
block
than the
down.
stock stuff, and beats the block down. And that's what you're going to get. And you can get it real affordable and real small packages. So
That stereo back in the day, to have it that loud,
Oh.
would have been $3-4
I was gonna
grand.
say about
Easy.
I was gonna
Easy.
say at least $3,000.
Yeah.
At least $3,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was with the hookup at Sound Advice. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? This is my man.
I remember I had those two Power Acoustic Mofo 15s
Golly.
in oh man, they were in a sealed box, I think.
Yep.
And then I had the matching Power Acoustic amp to run them. And then I had some, remember the old school Pioneer CD player with little race cars and the Dolphins on the little
Oh,
screen.
man.
Dean still has it.
Yeah, I bet it does. I bet it does.
I already knew it. I was gonna be like, man, that's in mine right now.
I probably had over $1,000 in that.
Check that pocket over there. Has he got his faceplate in his pocket?
there's
Carrying it around with a little handle.
For you youngins, you don't even know what that means.
there's a social group that I'm in that that a lot of us old guys are hunting for like those
Yeah.
kind of decks that have the Dolphins that still work.
Yeah.
Man,
I had that twice actually.
they'll pay out money for one of those old school head units
Really?
now, like mad money.
Wow.
I remember a few times I would go into when I first got it, and then I just started putting it in my glove box. But I would put it in a little case, throw it in my pocket, and I walked through Walmart, and I'd have my the faceplate right on there, and it was with the Dolphins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're talking, oh God,
That's crazy, but I mean, like those
20 years ago?
those decks were
Yeah,
what,
or more.
$200-300, like
Yeah.
the low
Yeah.
line one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's guys legit paying $1,000 for those today
Oh,
Wow.
those
God,
right
that's
now.
painful.
Wow.
because they want if it's fully functional display like that. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big deal. So it's funny, but
Yeah. That's
Remember the
crazy.
first time I got a
Now-
touch screen, I was like, man, I might as well have been like a Tron cockpit, just
Right?
and it was touch screen. I just felt like I was like a jet fighter with this high end stuff.
I know.
Oh yeah, no comments. I already see you want to make some smart aleck comment. Don't even
I
start.
put that dumb giant touchscreen in
Yeah.
in the town car, and I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
it. I, need
Oh, I
to just
remember
get
that
I just need to get a regular one.
Oh, so now you don't like it.
No, I don't like it. It just doesn't. It doesn't look good. And I guarantee you, the first time I juice it, I'm going to break it because it
gonna
hangs.
snap.
I was happy that you
It
were
is.
happy with it, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really care
That's-
for it. I don't
yeah.
like that.
I need to
It
get.
takes
I need
away
to
the
get,
dash. It
I need
takes
to get
away the
one
dash.
that sets in a
Yeah.
normal size
like
one.
a
All right. So
single
we're
den
going
or
to put a CD in it.
single den or a double den. True, exactly. Make sure you get one with a CD player.
our friend
Haters.
Kurt up in Indy in his hearse, I can get you a picture to put up because that thing's a beast. But he had a big old touchscreen and he went through
Yeah.
like 2 of them, breaking them. And he's
Oh,
like,
really?
So now he's ditching the whole thing. He's going to an iPod or an iPad that he can just take out of the car and
Okay. So it's not in the
Bluetooth in
abuse
it.
center.
Yeah, deadbeat rattles
Yeah.
stuff. So.
Yeah.
That'd
No,
be
I
to
just-
put a
I
hurt
need-
on you if you're not up for loud.
I need something that's just.
So is he
gonna sit
redoing
in
the
like
entire
yours.
dash?
No, he did the whole thing. The whole dash is fiberglass
Right. But
with
wasn't
like
it French
8
in?
or 10 speakers, some ridiculousness.
I thought the
No, the head unit was floating outside.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
French in. I'm like, so that's why I
No.
thought he was
No,
posing
no.
the question that.
Oh,
you were
sorry.
doing the dash.
Yeah, I
Okay.
misunderstood what you're saying.
But everything. I mean, like, so, which is still. We had this conversation off camera before about the audio being significantly cheaper than it was before, and
Yeah.
even in today's like market, it's like still like surprisingly and shockingly affordable.
Yeah.
But like then you go back to like the metal thing, and then like products and stuff they sell. Like so for me, when I'm building certain components and whatnot, whether it be for link setups bag brackets, etc. There's certain things that I can build, all of it. Obviously, I can fabricate all of it by hand if need be with my tools, the amenities I have in my shop. But then there's still, even with the cost of inflation, there's still things that are not worth cost of the dollar for my time for that hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to build it, versus just I've got the time, I can work on another project, or if I ordered things ahead of time, I just put, I place that order and it comes in, and I'll still have, friends, I'll have, homies asking, well, why'd you even bother buying it? You can make that. Yeah, but for the 3 or the 6 hours would it cost me to make that, right, I can buy it for a fraction. What I would charge per hour, I buy it for a fraction of that. And still, if it's for a customer too, save the customer money instead of me building that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
time is money.
That definitely that.
Time is money. It saves me from wasting time. It saves the customer money.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting a product 9 times out of 10, depending upon who what vendor. I'm getting a product that's already, to spec exactly what I need, and I already know what I'm getting and what I'm expecting.
Yeah, because like on your end, you got to buy the metal and then pattern it out, make it, do whatever.
Engineer, if it's something from scratch, engineer it, the whole 9.
And if it's something for like, you can call up and go, I want brackets for, a Suburban.
Yeah.
And that they're either going to be water jet or laser cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Plasma cut or whatever. And
let's just
they
say
spit them out and boom, there you go.
A bag plate or a step notch all day, every day. I could cut that out. I can make that, measure that. You know how long it's going to take to get that just nice and accurate from what, like mirrored images.
Right.
And then to mill out the slots for the fasteners where they go for the bag brackets and stuff like that. You're not, just banging 2 holes in it.
But once we have our CNC machine,
right,
once the shop's built, then it's that's a game changer.
Which I want to talk to you about.
But see,
that is a game changer, because then we just type in our own stuff and have it built.
There's certain stuff we get though that we pay for, and it comes in a little janky. I'm not gonna name any names, but we had that.
No, 100%. Like I said,
the switch box that came in,
the vendors.
And literally every one of the wires was cut. We had to sit down.
Everyone.
And I had to rewire the entire switch box. Yeah, or it was a switch panel at the time, but.
My kit, my hydro kit
for his.
Oh, for the Ranger.
The Ranger,
yeah.
All the wires were cut.
Where they stripped back the sheathing.
And literally, as I'm putting it together, the wires are popping off of all the switches.
Well, if you remember,
and you paid how much for that? And then it's like you had to redo the entire thing.
Where they
I had those quality control issues.
Yeah,
from that same company.
Yeah, exactly. So where they pulled back the sheathing and they cut all those wires right there, every one of them got cut.
Yeah.
Where they crimped them for the switches. He was just installing them. Even just installing the switches into a switch box that we'd had, one at a time. They were just falling right out of the crimps. They didn't even crimp them down.
So we paid for that, but in the end, we really didn't save time.
Nothing.
We didn't save.
That's true.
I paid triple for what I should have paid for switches. Is what it is.
You know who puts out so far a good product? Small, and it's a small business, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's getting bigger. Is this Hydro Joe's out in Texas?
I knew you were gonna say that. Yep.
His chain bridge kit is solid. I've seen. I don't have any experience with his switch boxes with any of his pre-wired stuff, but I've seen videos, little reels or on Instagram or Facebook where he's wiring them up and he's got all the tools laid out and he's doing it proper.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, he's a one-man band.
Yep.
Just doing it big,
Putting
man.
out a quality product.
Props to you.
Yep. Who's the other fella? Is Andre Lazard?
Andre Lazard. However you pronounce your name,
I
bro.
apologize if I'm getting that wrong. Man, I'll tell you
solid too.
His products, you could tell he takes the time, and he squashes the haters right off the bat. He goes, if you think my prices are high, then I'm not basically essentially what I've seen him say is, then I'm not the builder for you. You're going to get what you pay for, and I wholeheartedly believe that. And I've seen his prices, and I've seen his product.
I think his prices are fair. They're comparable.
He's not gouging. He is absolutely fair for the quality of product he's putting out.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any gouging because I've paid close attention to the community, and especially him being, a one person. I believe he's a 1-person operation, and he just recently moved.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just recently moved, and I couldn't tell you where. I honestly forgot. But set up shop again, and he's right back to business.
Yeah.
The product he puts out, man, I'll tell you what, it's like any other place you would expect it to just be on that level.
I'll tell you from experience, wiring an 8 or 10 switch box takes a minute.
It sucks.
You know, I don't mind it, but it's one of those like,
It's tedious. It's very tedious.
Yeah. It's one of those like, if you ask me to do that, I'll be like, all right, give me the gear and I'll talk to you in a day.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to be hanging out. I'm going to go do it in front of my desk and do it. And just
Thankfully, I'm not a switch box guy.
be in a zone and do it. But yeah, it takes a minute. I've done a few of them for some people around here.
Thankfully, I was able to we would take the one wire off, plug that one in,
Right.
and then
Yeah, as
just
long as you-
We didn't have to
follow
retrace
their trail,
anything.
so
We just
I've built them from
scratch.
a bag of parts.
Yeah.
You hand me
But
a
he
bunch
literally tested. He literally tested each one. He's like, "Well, I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
pull this one out next." So he just goes, "Boom." I think
Yeah.
one of them held.
Yeah.
There was like one or two that held. The
And
rest
then I
of
cut
them
it off
just-
and redid it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
out of just knowing for yourself. Yeah, I get
Yep.
that.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
9 out of 10 are bad, we're going to go ahead and change the 10th
Peace
just
of
because
mind.
I'm not
Yep.
that trusting.
Yep.
Yeah,
mine.
all because you wanted a cool car product.
Yep.
Listen, I had the same. I'm gonna put it out there because they're a big company, and shame on you. It was a CCE kit.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but yeah, it was CC.
It was.
mean, listen,
and I had the same
There's
quality.
talking
I had
smack and there's talking truth, and
Right.
that's truth. Unfortunately,
I had quality control issues when I got a kit from them, where
we got
there
a bunch of metal burrs.
yeah,
didn't
there
you?
was a lot of metal inside of the dumps, inside of the blocks. Like it was
littered
it was
with
a
You-
lot.
you had to
They're-
clean
they're
that out
Big
beforehand.
shards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
And then I think all of us, I hate to say it, we all kind of had a bad experience. He ordered his kit before me.
Yeah,
Mine came in about a week later. His came in 3 weeks later.
I had to call them, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "My kit. I ordered it. Here's the kit." And the dude literally like, "My bad. We forgot about it.
And
We'll
you
get
spent
it.
upwards.
We'll
you
get
spent,
it over
you spent
$3,000."
a lot. Yeah, okay. You want to put it out there. You spent over $3,000. And you ordered before me. Mine came. Yours never even came. Yours never even made the block. You
No, I
never even made the table. They didn't even put it together.
In all
to call
fairness,
me
he
straight up
ordered
for
his
that, so.
before you by like 2 minutes.
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
By 2 minutes. And he got his 2 weeks later after he had to call and say, "Hey, are you guys going
Yeah.
to send
Where's
my
my
stuff?"
stuff?
It was actually closer to a month later. So
And then me,
Wow.
I think we all, I'll speak for myself though. Every time I called them, and I called them aggressively throughout the day, multiple times, I never once got a hold of anybody. I never got a call back. I never
Yeah,
got,
it was
and I
weird. Their
I
hours, their
gave-
times when somebody would
Listen.
answer was weird.
And I know it's California time. We're in Florida. I called.
No,
No, they're Kentucky, bro.
Cars is
Oh, they can
Kentucky.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Kentucky.
Yeah, and I called our time, standard time. I called 4 hours ahead, 4 hours behind, everything, and I could not, for the life of me, I'm begging them, please get back to me.
Yeah, they
you know
have-
who got back to me and answered? I had a couple questions. You know who got back to me and answered? A company I didn't even buy from, Hoppos.
Yeah, they've got great customer service.
Shout the hell out
Yeah.
to Hoppos because when I
Alex.
didn't even buy.
Alex helps
Alex,
everybody.
when I didn't even buy their product, which that mistake won't happen again, I was getting answers and tech support from them.
Yeah.
And like I would get, hey, we'll get back to you as soon as we can, whether it would be on a phone call and they couldn't handle it right then, or if I sent them an email, I was
Yeah.
getting emails
Get email
back.
back.
Holy crap! You know how to email?
All right,
Sorry.
you want the
He's a
truth?
lady.
You want the truth? I was chaperoned on that, but I
Okay.
got it.
All right.
I figured it out.
Yeah. No, Hoppos is good.
Had to bust you.
Hoppos. My first kit was a Hoppos,
Yeah,
and I did, and it was a learning experience for me, and I had great experience with Hoppos. Great customer service.
yeah. I hands down so far to this day the best. There's other companies out there I haven't had the greatest. You reach out to them,
Yeah.
but you know, like
Yeah.
it's hit and miss with other ones. I won't name other companies, but I've had some hit and miss.
No, and I've tried a couple different companies because I want to experience the other company. I want to see what everybody's about.
I
And
want
I've,
to say I got Black Magic for the trailing arms. Was it Black Magic? Oh, I don't remember where I got the. Was it?
I think so.
Where I got the trailing arms
I believe so.
and the wishbone?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd almost buy like if you have two different companies, and company B has a lesser product,
Yeah.
but not by a lot, but has a better customer service.
100%.
I'll take the lesser product.
100%.
I'll
And it's
take
not
my-
even, and it's not even a lesser product because 90% of these parts are coming from the same place.
Same
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The only thing
Slapping their
the
name
only
on it.
thing that
Customizing blocks.
Hoppo's doing or CC's doing or Black Magic's doing or Hilo's doing, they're the milled parts, the blocks.
Call
They-
it the finished
they're-
the finished parts. Yeah.
the blocks.
Yeah.
They're milling the blocks. The motors are all coming out of China.
Yep.
The gears are all coming out of China,
Unless
or
you're getting
wherever. If
Marzucci.
you get Marzucci, whatever.
That's Italy.
You know, the dumps, they might be milling dumps.
Yep.
Hoppo's makes their own dumps, the
Yep.
Adels,
Yep.
and they're good dumps.
Yeah.
But as far as the square dumps go,
Yeah.
most of them they're
lot
either
of-
come from the same place or they might mill them.
Your
But
finish,
for the most part, everything that's moving your fluid is coming from the same place.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all a matter. It really is to me. It's a matter of customer service.
It really is. It really is.
Hilo had pretty good customer service with me. When I ordered my piston pump,
Yep.
it was kind of mid pandemic stuff and parts were short, and he told me like, hey man, you ordered this, we're having problems getting this. The longest thing they were trying to locate me was an 8X dump,
Okay.
but they found me one. They shipped it all, and everything came, and everything was great. Never
I haven't
had a
messed
problem
with
the pump.
Hilo yet, but I met them. I met the team under the tent up in Arizona, and they were very, very very good with the information, what they're selling with their product. I mean, obviously they're trying to create sales, but I've also been face to face with other people that are selling a product, and they kind of like give you that look like, well, that's what you get on the table, and it's just kind of like they're like,
right,
selling hot dogs off a roller at a gas station.
Yeah.
And and it's their product, and it's just like, oh, okay, there's no real, emphasis to sell it or explain to me about it or anything. Hilo, man, they were all over it. They were on me like, white on a paper plate. So I got to give it up to them. They, they sold me. I want to buy my next products possibly from them, and then also Hoppo's.
So I would definitely buy a Hoppo's kit again, and I would definitely buy Hilo.
Yep.
CCE maybe. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not gonna. The products aren't bad.
Yeah.
I just think they have QC issues.
Yeah. Absolutely have. And
Or had. They may have resolved that by now. I don't know.
Well, that, and they
if
also,
anybody has experience with that, let us know.
Please. Yeah.
Or let us know who you've had issues with or who you love.
Yep.
I mean, that's but that's as of now, that's where I stand. I haven't tried any Black Magic stuff.
Few times I've tried Black Magic. I never really got through to them the first time, but I will say this about them: they did get back to me with an email or with a call. Maybe on a couple occasions it wasn't the most timely fashion, but it was always with an apology. Hey, listen, we're really backed up. Sorry, we're just getting to you. This is X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So I have received returns from them. I take
that back. I have bought Black Magic products through their eBay store.
Yeah.
The slip yoke
that was one of the things. Yeah.
And the
slip
upper and the upper drop mounts for the Regal were all Black Magic stuff.
Stub.
And it was good. And it was good product. Didn't have any issues with the products. Didn't have any issues with the products.
Good
that
stuff.
was the redneck in Tampa who put it together.
The guy that. Oh my God.
Give me the measurements. Gives you the measurements. Car won't go all the way down.
I don't even remember the name of that place. But oh my God.
Car wouldn't go all the way down. You come back to him with the same measurements. Cuts it too short. Now he lays it out, and you're seeing about 2 inches of blue on the slip stub. I'm like, you know what? Just give up.
Dude, while we're in there,
they just put that back on a bandsaw. Went,
this guy,
this dude comes out. He's cross-eyed,
shorter than Ryan, shorter than you, Ryan.
Talking with a lisp.
Short don't mean nothing.
And I was like, Will, are we sure about this?
He was shorter than you. He was wider than him.
Oh wow!
And he had longer hair than Laney.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was.
I called him what I say about the Buick Roadmasters.
Okay, yeah.
He was in that spectrum.
Yes.
And I was like,
he was touched.
I legit looked at Will. I was like, "Are you sure about this, man?" He's like, "You say they're good." I'm like,
the place came recommended, and
Will gives him the measurements. The guy's like, "All right, we got it." Like, what do you know about that, bro?
What do you want about 3 thumbs? All right, yeah. They took a few more inches off and cut it 2 inches too short. Then, and it's like,
mistakes were made.
Like we're giving him the measurements, right? Dude didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
I
would be like, you want to write this down?
Grab the drive shaft and throws it into a pile of drive shafts, and I'm like,
piece of tape, bro. Just tape it to the drive shaft. Write the size on that. Nothing. All right,
we got you, man. We'll call you a couple days.
Yeah. I had taped the measurements that we had told them.
God, so you even gave them like the cheat code.
I don't know if they saw it or not, but
when they were done, they were like, "What is this? I don't know. Move it. We got to paint it."
It was right in front of him, and his eyes didn't see that son gun at all. Boy,
they were wandering.
Damn.
He's walking around.
That's all I got.
Nobody sneaking up on him. Nobody.
That's all I got to say.
You walk straight at him. You are.
And that's why that business will remain nameless.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even remember the name. Thankfully.
Oh my word! Yeah. So parts are
Yeah, prices are going up.
Seemingly, other than audio, it's parts for anything with car-related issues, be it maintenance or custom world.
Yeah.
Just going through the roof. Cars in general are going through the roof.
Wheels. Look at wheels, man. Remember when you could get Chinas for $300, $400, $100 a wheel or something?
Mine, I got 4 15s, 100 spoke, straight lace.
Out of Lowrider.
Standard. Yeah.
According to this one.
Standard offset and tires. Standard offset and tires. I remember this to this day. 2 lead hammers, a set of the adapters, the whole 9, plus the tires, plus mounted and balanced sent to me for $735.
Yeah.
Everything and put together $735.
OG, I think, is still the only place where you can get a set of chrome, 100 spoke, reverse offset, straight laced, with adapters, 1 lead hammer, and all your knockoffs.
What are you gonna say? Under a G?
Yeah,
Really?
840.
840
for a set of 14s. 13s might even be a little
I'm
cheaper
actually
or
shocked.
about the same price.
I thought it was across the board. Everything was already.
Yeah, most of them are about $1,200-$1,300 for a set of 4.
Even on eBay, China's on eBay a set
$13.99.
with yeah.
That's the reason they used to get. They were cheap. That's why.
That's why
$400. I'll get a pair. Throw them away in a couple years.
And that's why I told you guys after this experience that I had with Audio City USA or whatever, these 72s, I'll never buy Chinas again. I might as well just, for the price I paid for these, I'll just buy Daytons. I'll spend the extra $800 to $1,000 and just buy Daytons and be done with it. Yeah, the quality is not there.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never been a huge wire wheel guy, so all the wheels I've ever looked at,
except for those triple cross lace gold from Dayton, you have
those
to.
Nice.
That's an Impala price right there.
Well, speaking of wheels, don't shake your head, Laney. Don't. Shh.
what?
She ain't giving up no info, buddy.
We going with those?
What are we doing
for the wagon?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I'm
Let's talk about those beautiful wheels. She
I'm
looked
not-
like she
no.
looked like she got a sneeze right now.
Which wheels? I'm out of the loop here. What wheels?
Did you
The
leave?
ones that he had on the
Did you leave? Oh, I think he might
on
have
the
left for
T-Bird.
that.
Yeah, we pulled them out and put them up.
The T-Bird wheels?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bro.
In a
Pup
20.
maker.
In a 20.
No. 22.
22.
Well,
22.
it all depends on what we can make happen with the way
It's
I want
true.
the car.
It's
Shut up.
True. He
It's
wants the
metal.
door. He wants
We'll
that
make it
door.
work.
22.
It's a suicide
20
door.
is a minimum.
20 to 22. Okay.
I want to also have a little bit of sidewall, so I ain't rubber banding. I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta,
You said your minimum is what, a 45 series tire or 35? No, 35.
No, it'd be
45.
45.
45, yeah.
If he wants to
And-
meet on, it'll be 45.
yeah,
Yeah.
45.
45
but I
series
would like
tire.
to do, if I do those same style wheels,
When you do,
I've got a couple. I've got like 3 different wheels I like. So it's.
I'm looking at
know.
lane.
But
Personally, I'd put some reverse offset.
you'd put wires on.
Of course we
things
would.
on
Yeah,
That thing
no.
would be dumped on some 14s in 3 minutes.
No, so can't happen. Oh, not my style. But and those look like enough like wires to
Exactly.
That's why I like
I
them.
don't mind them.
To-
I don't mind them. I don't hate them.
to confront with the conform with the gatekeepers over here.
Well, you're not going for a lowrider anyway, so
No.
you don't got to worry about
Yeah.
the gatekeeper.
No,
Yeah, but I
You
mean,
whatever you do, you shall not pass anyway. I promise
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. We'll see. but yeah, I want to do.
It's a bagged wagon.
It's a bag like.
But I want to do at least 20s. If I do those rims, I want to do Vogue tires.
Nice.
I think
that combo is just.
Yeah.
I 100% think a 20 with a little bit meatier tire would work superbly on that vehicle.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah.
I think you need to shut up. We need to just go with 22s.
Yeah, but he needs rubber too, bro.
45. I have 45 series tires on my 22s.
Yeah, but you're
I don't know.
not.
I think
not on
the
rubber
way
bands.
he wants to suicide that rear door, I don't think he's gonna have room for 22.
If that's even
Push
possible.
the fender well back.
Figure it out.
What a 6
Just long arm it.
Yeah.
Just make it look like a hopper.
We'll push the fender well back. It's going to lay a little high in the rear, but we'll get that nose to the ground.
Oh man, on 22s, it'd be raking, son.
Donk. You look like a donk.
That's bad.
20s and 22s look fuck.
Those cars
they
look badass
fantastic.
with a little bit of rake anyway. But
Yeah.
I want to bag.
Not the way he's talking.
No, I know. I want to bag it and put it way.
I was going to
down,
say,
so-
you can rake it with the adjustable suspension. Past that thing needs to be laying damn near door,
Yeah. So.
or I'm not touching it.
Who's the gatekeeper now?
Yeah.
Who's the gatekeeper now?
Look, I'll put skis on it like I did the bird, but I want to be able to drive it home when shit goes sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you like Trent tells me.
Two.
We got
Yep.
trailers. We got trailers.
I'm the bad one today, apparently.
I'm just waiting. It's coming. Like it's like right here.
Yeah.
It's all right. Will's going to edit it.
I think we allowed a couple S-bombs, aren't we not?
That's okay. 1 or 2 here and there is fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
We got to keep it
I
family
already
friendly
broke the
for the
quota.
viewers here.
We do.
Family friendly.
Already broke the quota. Damn.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your build's going
Anyway.
to be awful nice.
Let's start speaking about prices. Like, where are the prices of like international trucks nowadays? Where are they at?
Yeah,
That's
Laney.
true.
Laney,
That's
have you
true.
looked into those?
She ignoring y'all.
She ain't gonna give us no info, buddy.
40 what?
40.
pricey.
What was the one that parked up? 47, 46,
48, 49, somewhere
48,
there.
49.
I got a good look at that one in her neighbor's yard that she was pretty upset about that he got.
What year was that
I
one?
think I'm going to ask him what year that is. Oh, she ain't even looking at me.
She's trying to ignore us, but she's listening. She knows
Probably,
what's
she's
up.
probably looking at internationals right now.
We'll get you a set of those rims to match Ryan. Why do you hate the rims so
She
much?
just does not like the.
Ugly.
She
They
thinks they're
are
ugly.
beautiful.
Ugly. They are Art Deco vomit.
She hates
Art
Art
Deco.
Deco.
Art Deco vibe.
I don't even know what Art Deco is, but the rims are sexy. So
You know what? Tropical Glitz makes a color called Art Deco, and I kind of like that color. I painted something for Debbie that color.
You know what? Here we go. In the comments, we're going to put a picture up because Ryan's going to go take a picture of these things.
we
He
just
doesn't
find a
have
picture.
And we're going to apply a picture
Yeah, we'll put a
in this
picture. up.
podcast. We're going to put,
Yeah, we'll put it right,
Right
there.
here. We'll put it
right
right
there.
here.
We'll put it right above Trent here.
yep. And you tell
What,
us
the
what you
rims?
think about them.
Yeah,
Mind you, these were
I think they're gonna look beautiful. on
These
that
were-
wagon.
I have 3 different styles that I like.
in
but
the time.
That's
yeah.
one of them.
Send all 3, and we'll vote.
That's true.
There you go. Let's do a vote.
We'll put one here. We'll put one here. We'll put one right there.
I'm curious to see opinions, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's my build, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Well, you like
100%.
all 3 of them, so I mean,
Yeah.
you're winning either way.
Yeah.
But I just,
I like
more than anything,
I know which
just
ones I'm
wanna-
voting for.
I just
I
want
don't
to,
care what the other 2 are. I know
Yeah,
which
me
ones I'm
too.
voting for.
I just want to prove to Laney that they're a beautiful wheel.
That I have better taste than all of you.
You
case
married
that
Ryan. You cannot pull the wool over my eyes on that.
Again, I have better taste.
In case no one can hear her, she said that she has better taste than all of us sitting here. So,
Well,
all right.
majority wins.
all right, she picked me. She must love me for something. So,
That's true. I just want you to build what you want to build, buddy.
yep.
As long as it has those wheels.
And Lee's door.
I don't give a shit what wheels you put, as long as it gets built.
Yeah.
3.
No, as long
3
as
as
it,
My
well.
bad. My bad.
Well,
Jeez.
it's going to take some help from y'all, but
That's gonna happen.
We got you, boo.
We got it. We'll build it.
We're gonna help you.
I don't expect it. I'm just saying.
so we pull that thing down and
It's
get
gonna
it
be good.
dipped, and I go,
Good luck.
That's what I'm
I'm
afraid
gonna hit
of.
you with that one. Good luck.
Yeah.
Just because otherwise it would take it from either being like the way I want it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm taking it to shops, it'd be
Yeah.
like 6 figures versus
Oh yeah.
not.
No.
Oh, I know.
We'll
I know
get
what
it
that
good,
stuff
buddy.
costs.
We'll get it good.
I'm doing it all the time, and I see what we're charging in other shops and stuff. It's ow.
I don't have 6 figures
Yeah.
to spend
You
on a
think
car right
you
now.
think parts are bad? Now double that up with parts and then the labor to do it.
Oh,
yeah.
labor's through the
Labor's
roof,
labor's
bro.
God,
insane.
Yeah.
listen.
You're cheap.
I
Bro,
know.
you're super
I know.
cheap.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to be as, pardon me, cost effective and fair to myself, which arguably I'm probably cutting my own knees out a little bit. But I want to get people in the door. Not because I'm going to gouge them. I'm going to treat them just as fair as anybody else, as my own mother. But I want to make it, in this economy at the very least, affordable for me to operate the shop, operate my shop, which really is our shop, operate our shop at the same time as making it affordable and feasible for the blue collar person to come in and get a car built, or at least start the process of a build where they can have certain things done, some to some level, and then come back, or make it feasible where we put set amount of hours in on the vehicle and said build every month, and that allows them to make ends meet with bills, family, so on and so forth, and then have, say, 20 hours worth of labor set aside to pay that balance, come through, check the progress, pay pay the note and then continue on to, let's say, another 20 hours that month. So that's how I work my business, because if it's just a hard rate, of labor, a heavy bill, and you paying it at the end, you're only going to have, really, in this economy, an elite set of people that, the elite can only pay those prices.
You got
can't-
shops like Extensive and
Yeah.
Fat Fabs and stuff.
Yeah,
You're looking at like $150.
minimum.
Yeah.
You bring the car in
bro,
and say, I want it done. They're like, all right, it starts at $150.
that's where they start.
Let's talk about
The
what you
shop
want to
that
add
I'm
on
at-
after that.
The shop that I'm at,
Jeez.
listen, we started a build, and to my knowledge, the guy started off with just handing over $100K, and we're going to be well above that with labor and everything else, and that's just to start off. So that's the average person. That's not, so
Is that the one you were building the door on?
He ain't building a door, he building a whole damn thing.
Well, he was building the door in the pictures. That
restoring whatever was left. We'll say that. So
You built the door, buddy.
Do you remember? Yeah,
what'd you
Yeah,
say?
You built the door.
yeah.
Yeah.
You legit built a door.
Are we allowed to put those pictures up here?
Yeah, I'll absolutely
Okay.
put some of those
We'll
pictures.
put
Put a
those
couple up
Go-
here.
absolutely.
Dean's handiwork.
Yeah.
But you
Befores and
remember
afters.
you asked me a couple years ago. I mean, I hate to say that it's been a couple years, but it's been a couple years that you were like, "What do you think that wagon's going to cost you?" And I looked at you back then. I mean, this was before COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't see it costing any less than, because I was comparing the prices of what
Yeah,
I paid
yeah,
on
yeah.
the Thunderbird,
I already know where you're going with this.
and then what I want to do to the
Yep.
wagon, which is the Thunderbird Plus.
Yeah.
Like, it's way beyond that, and it's like, dude, that Thunderbird cost me $40K
Yeah.
back then.
That was what, early
That
2000s?
was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
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 And then
Double that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I told him, I said,
Yeah.
I see no reason that unfortunately that wagon's going to cost me $80,000 for the shit I want to do to it.
Yeah. And that was then.
At least I'm catching myself, but it's a little too late. As soon as I said it.
I would have left you said it and then said it again. I went, oh, shit.
So, but yeah.
No, it's
and
the truth.
And I don't want it to cost that, but I
I'm
know
not
the
out-
reality of what I want.
Yeah.
I mean,
just out of respect, I'm not at liberty to say, well, just for whatever reasons. I'm not going to say, the shop that I work for or our prices, but comparatively to other shops and everything, we're up there, and we're in the upper tier of what it costs. Now, obviously, I know what we're putting out because, especially in the metal department, I'm the guy putting that out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fair or not fair. It's just a lot of money. Period. No matter which way you want to skin the cat, whether somebody wants to say that's fair, that's not fair, that's ridiculous, or that's on par. It's a lot of money, and it's not conducive to getting more people involved in the community, getting more families doing family builds, or just being in a family atmosphere, doing the barbecues on Sunday, doing the meetups and everything. You can't even, like, as we were talking at the beginning of the episode, the price of some of these cars. You're buying some of these cars. You're buying $4, $5, $6 grand, and they right off the bat, just to make it like an operational daily, they already need work, and you already spent $5 grand on the thing.
Yeah.
I would rather save the money and do like we did. What was it? Tuesday? What's today? Tuesday? Friday? At your house.
Yeah.
We had 20 people show up,
That was
and we
awesome.
laughed, and we had a great time.
That was so awesome.
Laney cooked for us. Like, it was just
Twice. She fed us twice. Y'all left, and she fed us twice.
Yeah, she fed the homeless ones that stuck around longer.
so that to me is you can keep. I don't want to spend $150,000 on
No.
a cool car. I want to build it with these people and have
Right.
great,
The
like,
memories.
what'd you do with
And
this?
still get a great
we
product.
had this
Still
night. We
get a
stayed
great
out till
product.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Like with the Ranger, we were here when the sun came up, laughing, crying hysterically.
Sharing
with
a
Will
lot with
stuck.
another business. People coming in like, oh, y'all just getting here? Like, no, we just shutting down.
That is worth more than
Everything.
any $250,000 build,
Yeah.
whatever. I got the memories of
That's
hanging
true. I'll
out
cherish
and,
those memories.
and
forever.
having fun.
But also with that too, you got to imagine you got to add in part of that. We all know what we're doing, so we're not like cobbling things together and just getting memories. We're putting out a very quality, solid product, whatever build that may be,
and having fun doing
and
it.
having a blast doing it. Now, the only thing we're doing that it's costing us sweat equity.
Well,
We're
parts, but yeah, but I mean, yeah.
we're putting in that sweat equity, but we all know what we're doing. Everybody has their fields. Everybody has their their skills that they've honed very well and continue to hone. So we're not even just like we're not shorting ourselves on anything except for the bragging status of saying I spent $150,000, $250,000 on this car to have it built. No, I spent, a lot of late nights
Yeah.
with brothers and sisters building this thing. Would you end up spending? The money's insignificant. Doesn't matter.
Not $200,000.
Not 200 grand though. I'll say that.
No.
Not 200 grand.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had the money, I could just be like,
Right.
you know, on another project. I mean, I'd much rather get a group of people together and build it.
Right.
But in the same context, I've been
Because
like,
that's what it used to be, and it's like
hit
it's
up,
kind of straight from that.
Yeah.
Not just us. I'm saying in general, in you know, encompassing the car community. It's kind of straight from that. In some aspects, not a lot of people are kind of doing what we're doing. You know, we get together as a group and we put down. And
Friday was a blast, man.
Friday was an amazing
Seeing
night.
people I haven't seen in years. So.
And we got your shop kind of in order with the lift, and we're talking about the project, and everybody, you could see it in everybody's face. I ain't driving the damn thing, and I'm over here. I had goosebumps and everything, talking about what we're gonna do to it, where we're gonna cut it up.
Looking at them sexy rims next to it.
Ooh. Yep. God, thank God we talked about those rims after she fed us, because she wouldn't have fed us.
Don't you still have? Don't you
She's
still have
shaking
those 20-inch wires?
yeah, I still have them.
So
They need some work.
Put those on there.
Yeah.
We can sandblast them and powder coat them.
Any color you want. And if you don't,
You get another odd look from Lainey.
I say when she's asleep, we just put them on her daily. Then you're going to have a reason to do this.
For all the people who can't see her, she literally looked up and was
Scrunched
like,
up
mean
face.
buggers.
"Dear God, help me."
I will remove them.
Yep.
Have Jack.
You listen.
We'll put on one of the
You
little
wake
locking
up-
lugs.
You
Now
wake
what?
up. You're going to wake up with a set of 20-inch wires on your whip.
Are they
And
are they bullet knockoffs?
Wait.
Yeah, actually, they're
Yeah.
Listen, dunk out
They're
that
2
rack
bars?
board.
Oh, no. We'll drop it down a little bit. And in the CD player, I'm going to put Lil Troy. Want a beer? Oh, yeah. You're going to go to work in style. They're going to be like, you know what? I always knew Laney was cool.
as a gag, I'd almost like to put the wires on the RAV because it's a RAV4 just to see what it looked like.
Just for funsies. Huh?
Just to see what it looked like.
I'm sure the bolt pattern doesn't match.
We got adapters. We'll
I
make
got
it
you.
work.
I got you. Bet. I'll weld that on there if I have to.
There you go. There you
We
have
ain't
it.
wrecking the car, dang.
Anyway,
Anyway, back to the topic. You know, that was
Yeah.
this night's discussion.
yeah.
Parts,
I mean,
pieces,
I think,
and accessories and their prices.
yeah.
Redunculous.
I think we've hit it on the head that
Yeah.
inflation's terrible.
Terrible.
But let us know what you think in the comments. What's gone up? What's gone down, man? What are you guys into? Share your stories with your quality control issues. Who you
And
love,
please-
who you use.
Don't forget to vote on these wheels for Ryan.
It's true. Vote on
Put
the
them up
wheels.
one more time. 1, 2, or 3.
The one that is going to upset Lainey, it's going to upset her. It's going to be slightly bigger. So that's the one to pick.
There you go. There you have it. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
See ya.